going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video on the LFG podcast channel. And like me and Codes promised, Jmag here. He watched the
Go.
trailer, and we are here for the breakdown. So we're just gonna get right back into it. This is Loki, season 2 trailer breakdown. Jmag, the floor is yours.
Yeah. Okay. So I just watched it. Initial reactions. We watched the first trailer again, and we were saying, or Cody was saying, like they didn't really give us anything in that one either. But this one, I feel like they didn't give us anything. Like, what's the premise of the show? What's the point of the show that we're gonna go into? We left off on the season finale with Kang, presumably Kang statue, right? He's now in control of the TVA. He's the boss, and we really didn't get anything besides what is it, the electric scene or whatever in the theater. And I get it. Like Cody brought up a good point. We don't want to get spoiled. You don't want to get to see too much. But my thing is just, what's the premise of the show? I guess they're just trying to save the TVA, and from what if it's not Kang anymore? I don't know. So am I crazy? It seemed okay. The trailer seemed okay. The scenes that we got were fine. Just what's the point of the show? I guess
before you get into it, Justin, I just want to say, going back to adding on to what I was saying about the first trailer from the first season, like we had no idea what we were in for, because all we got was him going to the TVA and being arrested. That's it. We didn't get nothing else as far as plot goes.
Well, you see right there, them going to the TVA. That told us like, oh, he's messing with time. There's a time police, quote unquote. Now he's in trouble. I get the premise of that. That was like the premise. And then we can go from there.
What's the premise of this one? Going to this season, we saw that towards the end, when he was talking to the other Loki, the girl Loki, I forgot her name. She was saying like, we're playing gods, like, and then he was saying like, well, how can we choose who we're gonna save? And then like they're clearly going to fix the timeline when they were going into the astronaut suits. Like, we can only assume that they're fixing the timeline that they broke in season 1. So that's something that you could think about. And there's also Loki shifting, or what is it called, time jumping, like they do in Spider-Verse. So we got to figure out what that has to do with the plot and what's going on with that. But
nowhere, and that's, I get that. Okay, I can see that, but nothing to do with Kang. And I don't know if it's because Kang, the real life Kang, Kang got in trouble, and I don't know if they had to cut some stuff or readjust some stuff. I don't know if that's the thing, but like, they gave us nothing on the big season finale. Like, oh shoot, and you don't know who I am. Who are you? And they get the statue of Kang. They didn't give us none of that stuff alluding to last season. So that's the only thing. And like I said, it still looks good. I think Loki's still going to be good. That's just I'm hung on the fact of what's the point of the season.
I want to say, from start to finish, what I'm getting like the idea of is that we start off with him, like, obviously after the aftershock of Kang, and he's thinking in his head like, whoa, he took over, so we have to fix this. And he's trying to convince everybody at the new TVA like this isn't right. And they go into this not chase, but to search for him. And that's why they got that interaction with him, talking about like, you like to do it quick or something. Like, what did he say? You take this approach, I take this approach. And they're trying to find Kang. And then obviously towards the end, they end up finding Kang, but it doesn't work out how they planned. So they have to fix the timeline instead. And I think that's how it's going to go. So,
because he did say, when I've been time splitting, I think is the term that they use. He saw something, and maybe that's the thing that he saw and that they're trying to protect it from. He also said there's a war coming. So is that alluding to the Council of Kangs that's coming? Or my thought is, I think this is going to be its own thing. I don't think it has anything to do with MCU. They're dealing with what they have to deal with in the show, and it's never going to touch the MCU. I think that's what my thought is, just based off this first. And like I said, it's the first trailer. Maybe we get another one and they give us a little bit more, or they give us new things that they didn't show us. And like I said, I've always been one to just watch one trailer, and that's it. I don't want to watch it anymore. I don't want to get spoiled, because we know we're going to watch this stuff. But this might be the first time that I think I need to see the second one just to get a little bit more of the premise. But Jet, what do you think?
Wow. So yeah, like I was gonna say before we started recording, I don't know if just watching something like a trailer with someone kind of heightens you, but for me, as soon as the trailer started, I saw the actor from Everything Everywhere All at Once, and like I wasn't like, how you watch something and you see an actor that you're like, oh my god, he's in this. Like he's really good, man. And so I saw him, and I was immediately like, I don't know if I was where at Cody was at, but I was immediately heightened. Like, okay, like they understand that Loki was their best show, so they got somebody in here. Like he's a really good actor. And then just going off the premise of the show, it's. I mean, you're right. We really didn't get much. But I've always been of the mindset, and like we've talked about before, the MCU likes to do their own thing when it comes to these comics and these storylines. But I've just always been of the approach that like Kang never really dies, or he never really goes away. And so like if they're
Mhm.
taking the approach that like, okay, like the Kang that you guys got introduced to is dead, but like versions of him are still going to come, then that's just what then they're doing, and you just kind of have to like, I guess not be okay with it, but like if you're going to watch it, that's what you have to have that mindset going into it. And so I've just always believed that like, okay, like, well, since Ant-Man, that okay, versions of him are going to keep coming, and that's just the route that they're taking.
Mhm.
And so, like you said, we don't really know what's going on. But I felt like that. I was telling Cody, I felt like that in the first Loki trailer. Like they were showing scenes like him jumping out the plane, and like my mindset back then, like, what the hell is he doing jumping out of a plane?
Mhm.
What is going on? Um, and so I think where me and Cody have a heightened level of hype is just the mindset that they've Loki, and I told you this last time, Loki is, to my knowledge, the only show that took that 6 episode formula and actually ran with that to perfection. Like to me and Cody, it's the best one. I don't know how you feel about
Oh
any of
yeah,
the other ones, but
Loki
it's clearly
season
the
one
best
was.
one.
Mhm.
And so with that, we're just taking into account that all the actors did phenomenal. The plot was really good. And so we just believe that they're going to take that same formula and just, run with that again. And to your point that, because what was that last thing that you said that, uh, that the MCU, like it might just be like how
Yeah,
DC's
their
doing
own.
like the Elseworld thing. That kind of like, it kind of pissed me off a little bit. Not that you said that, but that could be like a realization. Like
Mhm.
I like, and that it kind of makes sense just because like Loki's dead technically. Um, but yeah, that was a good point that you brought. Like I don't know how I feel about that.
I wanna interject on that because let's keep in mind that we got Loki, which I'm gonna just leave it as glitching from Into Spider-Verse because it's my movie, so I'm gonna call it glitching. We see him glitching, and from what we know of glitching, if you're not in your respective universe, you're going to be glitching because you don't belong there. So we can only assume that this is his way of going back to his world. Like to stop his glitching, they have to send him back where he belongs, which combine, you know what I mean, puts the stories together and it brings us back to the MCU and we get something going on. So
But that dude said like that you're not supposed to be able to do that in the
in the
TVA, and
TVA,
nobody's ever done that. Like they've brought in multiple people that we've seen in season one, and presumably throughout the whole existence of the TVA, and nobody's ever time split it before. So I guess why is Loki doing it? I guess right. That's the question.
yeah.
Why is Loki doing it? So okay. I mean, like I said, it's the first trailer. I'm still excited to watch it. Like we said, Loki is still,
Yeah.
and I agree with you guys. Loki is still the best Marvel show. Um, to I guess to ask a question, do any of the Marvel MCU shows have anything to do with the MCU overall? Can you guys? I mean, WandaVision, it was
Mm,
its own story, right? But we got that she had the book. I forget the name of the book, but she had the book and she wanted her kids,
yeah.
and that kind of connected it. Winter Soldier and Falcon. I mean, he's obviously Captain America now, so that kind of connected. Um,
I was gonna say the one that probably has the most implications is probably Secret Invasion, no?
Secret. It should, but see,
It
like I told you on
should.
our review, right? It's a secret invasion. They can totally be like nobody knows about anything.
He
So I
announced
mean, it
it. The
should.
president announced it though.
Yeah, the
Oh,
president
that's
was
right. That's
and,
right. He said there's scrolls. No, you're right. You're
yeah,
right.
and
He said
kill
there's
him, and
scrolls.
then they
Yeah,
got
oh
people
yeah,
killing
obviously.
people, and people are pissed because it's like, why did Fury
Mm-hmm.
leave on that note? The president got people killing each other, and you just gonna leave?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That no, you're right. Yeah, that is the biggest one. Then I completely overlooked that.
But I mean, that's the most recent, and they're probably beginning to tie things in. So that's not really.
So I guess so for the most part, they all do in some way or another tie into the overall MCU, right? So there's no reason to not think that this wouldn't. But
That's
I
what I'm
have a
saying.
feeling
I think it's the glitching.
I have a feeling it's not going to connect. Really, it's their own thing, and they'll take care of it themselves. But I
Well,
don't know. Hope we'll see.
it's like I was telling Cody, man, and I kind of hinted at this the last video we did, but we've been with the MCU since 2008. Phase 4 did not need to be a setup phase. Like, there could be setup movies, that's fine. The whole damn phase, bro,
Yeah, that was crazy.
and there might have been little connections here and there. I'm not going to discredit them like that, but overall, like the grand scheme of things, like no connections like that. Like it just, I feel like we took a couple years off. Like it,
Yeah. No. Yeah.
I
And
don't know, man.
what's the recent MCU show? Secret Invasion, Miss Marvel. What else? What else was recent? Like both of these shows were like
Miss Marvel,
mid
but they're
at
making a movie.
best, right?
Which, to be
Moon
honest,
Knight,
like
Outlier.
if they're doing 6 episode shows, I don't think it, and they're introducing characters. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world if the show is mid. Because like
Mm-hmm.
the main point is that you're introducing these characters so that you don't have to do it in a movie, but they get a little more time and you get a
To
little bit more
develop,
with the
yeah.
character so that you develop like a relationship with them.
Mm-hmm.
But like just the way that they're doing it is like
real quick, because actually this brings up a good point. This happened to me a couple weeks ago. I was at a little restaurant, Chico's Tacos here in El Paso, and I was in line, and there was like two couples having a conversation, and how they went to go watch. I think it was Wanda, well, not Wanda, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, and they were completely lost as to why Wanda was doing things that she was doing, and her boyfriend was explaining, well, if you would have watched WandaVision, you would have understand a little bit more of what she was doing and why she wanted to do this. Because I think I heard her say she went into the movie and she's like, wait, wasn't Wanda a good guy? Why is she doing this? So that goes to my question of they need to watch the shows in order to continue watching the movies. So I just thought that was a little bit crazy. I forgot where I was going to go with that, but yeah, I think you need to watch these shows in order to continue watching the movies, right? So,
but the only problem with that is Moon Knight. As good as Moon Knight was, it has no correlation that we know of to the MCU.
Yeah, not yet. So,
yeah, not well, yet. that because, and that goes back to my point, like. The shows that are introducing characters, like
WandaVision, if nobody's watching the shows, then what's the point of the show?
That's true, but like what I'm saying is like, I could see having to watch WandaVision because it's Wanda. Like she's been in the MCU for years. But someone like Moon Knight, like if someone doesn't watch Moon Knight, they're just going to be like, well, who the hell is this guy when he pops up in a movie? But I mean, other than that, like if you just want to go get his backstory, then you'd have to watch Moon Knight. But I mean, most people they're gonna be like, "Oh, snap!"
Yeah, but my thing is, all these other shows are in some way being a part of the MCU, except for like Moon Knight. There should be another one, right? But Moon Knight is the big one. He has no like we don't even know if he's on the same or in the same universe as the MCU. Yeah. Like that's what I'm saying.
Well, because, like, okay, so off rip, he's looking him up, but off rip, She-Hulk, nothing connected till the end. You saw, like, the Hulk's son or whatever the hell, and they said that Hulk was, like, sent into space, which you would assume that that's going into World War Hulk, but who the hell knows? And then, like, Miss Marvel, like, the end, like, that was a direct tie at the end. That was a direct tie to the movie.
Yeah,
like direct, like
directly,
bro. If you don't watch Miss Marvel that last 10 seconds, then you're not like, what the hell is she doing in space? But yeah, I mean, it's just things like that. I don't know.
So some saying,
though. Yeah, we got Secret Invasion, we got Loki, we got Miss Marvel, we got Moon Knight, we've got Hawkeye, Falcon, Winter Soldier, WandaVision, She-Hulk.
What's Hawkeye's?
Just Hawkeye's tied in with her. No, with Black Widow's sister, and that was the tie.
Oh yeah, that's where they took that, and she ended up showing up there. But then it ended, right? Like it didn't really. That was it. It was
Yeah,
just its own
it just
story. It didn't
ended.
really give us any implications for the future or what this was going to
I was gonna
mean.
say, how's that a direct tie-in? Because that's before.
Yeah, this one is one of those where, like, if you see the end credit scene for Black Widow, now it
Yeah.
shows up here in Hawkeye, but it doesn't go anywhere else into
Yeah,
the
it
future.
doesn't
Right.
really. Yeah.
They did a reverse on that one. Everything else besides Moon Knight
Yeah, that's what I'm
and
saying.
maybe Loki, it all
Loki,
has a.
yeah, but
It
Loki
has a
started
like,
out in the MCU.
that's another one, yeah, where it started in the MCU and then he got his own show, but so far. And that's where we thought, bro, when we saw the statue, that great season finale, like, oh, how is this gonna mess up the MCU? These timelines are getting messed up. The statue of Kang is here. It's like, what's gonna happen? And so far in this trailer, they didn't show us anything about that. Not yet.
And
So
we also have Eternals, and even though they spoke about the MCU and all that, what happened in that movie still has not been talked about anywhere, which is insane. Still,
just once in like a blog post or something that you had to go and see the screen, and that was it.
like,
That
this is
was
crazy.
it. So, and that goes to our point, man. When me and Jet were like, we need them to start connecting pieces. Like this whole phase 4, just like we said earlier, was a setup phase for what? Start connecting these pieces. You guys are masterful at doing that. Let's start seeing the ball rolling. So, yeah. And like I said, Loki looks good. It still looks good. I just want to know the premise. I want to know what happened with the season finale. Are you guys even touching that? What's going on? So I still have faith. Obviously, Loki's the best show, and then I think Moon Knight's next. I'm excited for Moon Knight too if they bring that back. So what's going on with that? So,
We need to rank. We need to rank phase 4. We need to rank. But I was gonna say, just going back real quick. I don't think you're crazy, to be honest, because
Okay.
if you look at it like that, then I mean they didn't show you nothing. So what can you really get hyped for if you're like if it's plot, and it is plot because it's the MCU. But just to like reiterate the point that me and Cody were talking about, like just for me personally, like I said, the guy from Anything Everywhere All at Once, I saw him and I was hyped, and then that just bleeds into the cast, like Tom Hiddleston, Jonathan Majors, Owen Wilson. Owen Wilson is someone that I'm not really fond of, but he was great as Morbius.
Oh, yeah.
Like that was awesome. And then there's Sylvie, and then I just found this out right now looking at it. But Miss Minutes is Tara Strong. You know who Tara Strong is?
That name sounds familiar.
She
That name
plays.
sounds-
She voices Timmy and Raven.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. I know exactly.
Dude.
Yeah.
That's cool. She
she's
is masterful.
Yeah,
crazy, man.
Yeah, she's good. She's
she got
the clock,
a Batman belt.
Yeah,
yep.
the clock. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Which from the trailer, it looks like she's doing something crazy. You see that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
attacking
I was
stuff.
like,
See, that's what I'm saying. Loki and them finally found him. They pulled up, confronted him, and then they just started getting attacked by the clock because she's under what's his face? Oh, I can't think of his name. Majors, Jonathan Majors. I'm just saying that.
Oh yeah,
King,
the one above all, and who? I mean, is he still that, or is it Kang? Well, they didn't answer that.
He already took over. She controls the. It's a different King that controls the TVA now. It's not the same one.
Yeah,
so this one controlling it, he's not sliding for all this. Y'all confront me, handle that clock.
Yeah, like I said, I hope he's in
I
there
don't know.
somewhere instead, and hopefully I'm sure they filmed everything before this guy got into what he got into, but so we'll see.
I'm like one of my last points. Loki did the dirty work of bringing Kang into the MCU, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's weird that the place that they introduced him in doesn't get to use that version of Kang. Like, why would Ant-Man get him and not the place where he was introduced to? So, because what if there's someone that just watches like just watches the shows just because they have Disney Plus? Like obviously that's a small percentage. But I'm just saying, like, what if that is someone? So you brought in Kang into Ant-Man and not into Loki season 2. Like he's not gonna have nothing to do with it. Like this is a whole nother guy. Like,
yeah,
that's just something I thought about.
Well, I mean, they get the movies too, so.
Well, no, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It's some people don't like movies.
Yeah.
Well, any final thoughts before we head out? I know you're gonna just before you finish it.
No, I'm trying to
conclude
think.
on our
You
final
good.
thoughts. Like I said, still looks good. Still gonna watch it. Obviously, still have full faith. Just want to know a little bit more about the premise. Like, what's the point? what's the point? Where are we going? And I hope it does connect. Like I said, it has every inclination that it should. Their track record that it should. So,
And this was not a breakdown. We didn't break the trailer down at all. We
Yeah.
just gave
for
our
discussion.
Yeah,
This is
we
a
just had a
trailer
good
discussion.
discussion.
Yeah.
The trailer discussion. We can go through it if you want. I mean, we're at 20 minutes already, but it's up to you.
No,
You
no,
wanna
no,
go-
no, no.
I
Nah,
think
yeah,
this
we're
was good
good.
though too. I think this was good too. Where you at, Cody? You good? Did you find your thought?
Nah, it's because I'm just thinking about the Kings and seeing how this is gonna work out, but I still don't know.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, and maybe this is a good thing that they're not telling us stuff because maybe it's a good setup for some crazy shit that's gonna happen. We don't know. Like I said, we have faith. Trailers still look good. Don't get me wrong. Don't go come at me at the comments and stuff. Still look good. I'm still excited. I just want to know a little bit more information, which is crazy because, like I said earlier, I don't want to know information. I'm gonna watch it anyways. But I think this is one of the rare times, the only time, I want a little bit more information. But let us know what you guys thought about the trailer. Did you guys like it? Are you guys excited? Judging by the comments, I think most of you guys are. So it's good. It's good. Let's go. We're ready for Loki Season 2. We appreciate you guys watching this video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. You already know what to do. We'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.